Hey everybody, so what you're about to see is a podcast I did for Snark Monkey. Snark Monkey is my dear friend Larry Morgan. We go way, way back to our old days in radio. We worked together at the Premier Radio Networks, and in fact, the interview that is being done here, it's a podcast, you can hear it. Go to Snark Monkey and find, I'm listing all the Snark Monkey stuff right here. You can see it. Follow Snark Monkey, listen to all the podcasts. They're wonderful podcasts about film, writing, directing, producing, voice acting, acting. Larry interviews all sorts of people on Snark Monkey. It's a great podcast. I highly recommend it. But the great thing about this one that you're about to see is Jim Ward and I do our first ever interview together about Ratchet and Clank in this. And the great thing about that is Jim, Larry, and myself all worked together at Premier Radio Networks doing comedy bits. So this is the first time the three of us have ever been reunited. Check it out. Here we go, behind the scenes. Enjoy.
Wait a second.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
It's a magic stick.
It is.
Oh, it's got a...
Hey, hang on now.
Hey-o.
Okay.
Totally
Here we go.
redoing everything here.
Everything. Ooh, look at that keyboard.
Yeah, it's a silent touch. As cool as it looks, works like crap.
This will be the, it looks as though I'm
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh.
it's Captain Quark. There he is.
There he is.
Hey, Jim Ward.
James Arnold Taylor.
How are you, sir? Good to see you. You know, the cool thing about this, Jim, is this is the first time you and I get to sit and talk about Ratchet and Clank with somebody.
I know.
And who better than Larry Morgan, our old friend.
Yeah. Go ahead and strap on headphones if you want. Jim, could I get a level on you?
All right. Check 1, 2, check. Sibilance, check.
Nice.
Very nice.
And now there's all three of us on.
But even when I'm on, I don't sound as good as Jim.
Well, that's because Jim has a better voice than you.
Oh,
Is that what you
right.
want? Yeah. So Jim Ward and James Arnold Taylor, 2/3 of the top billed names
Yes.
in the new Ratchet and Clank movie. But James, of course, you are Ratchet.
Ratchet is a Lombax, and there is only one Lombax. We don't know where the other Lombax have gone. And my hero is Captain Quark.
I'm Captain Copernicus Quark.
And Jim Ward here, of course,
He is.
he literally is. He transformed. His uniform is on and everything right now. Just been a one-off kind of situation.
I'm moving closer. For everybody listening, so I'm vlogging, so I'm recording.
James is way more invested in the visual aspect of this podcast.
So I've got two cameras, and I want to make sure that Jim and I are in the same shot.
There's a very tiny camera over
Hi,
there
Jim.
with a really teeny tiny microphone.
But then I'm
Hey!
going to have a two-shot, so I can...
Why is my voice so high?
It's the camera. Have you seen the whole movie?
No, I have
I've finally got to see the whole movie, and honest to God, Jim, you are awesome in this movie. He's so funny. He's so great. Quark is that.
It's a lot of Ted Knight in there.
Yeah.
Hey, just big bombastic guy.
And he's very agile.
It's kind of exciting, though, to see you, get your name on some of this stuff.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Along with people like Paul Giamatti. I mean, typically
Nice
they're gonna cast these animated films.
Hey.
Does anybody, by the way, do a Paul Giamatti impression in the room? Can we-
Yeah.
I
don't want to talk about it.
You know, when I crashed.
Kudos to them, the company, whoever put this together.
Insomniac is the
Insomniac.
creators of the game. Blockade Entertainment is the ones that actually made it possible. Blockade Entertainment, it's really kudos to them and Insomniac, because they wanted it to stay like the game. And the fans, that's been the beautiful thing, is the fan outreach to Jim and myself and to David going, it's so cool you guys are the voices. Because I think a lot of people would have went, I'm not seeing it.
Have you been asked to do anything recently that you had to really work on to
A
get?
TV show Guardians of the Galaxy, I play Yondu and Cosmo. And Yondu is the character that Michael Rooker played.
Wow.
And Michael Rooker, he's got this he's kind of Cajun and he's this alien and so, yeah, boyo, he calls everybody boyo. And then Cosmo is a telepathic Russian cosmonaut dog. He reads minds. So those are, that's the best part about being voice actors is we can be this and we can sound like anything.
James has actually been on the Snark Monkey podcast. He was episode number 1, actually.
Look at that.
Over a year and a half ago. Wow. So we talked a lot about his influences. When you were coming up, Jim, when you started to recognize you could do voices, were there guys that you...
Well, what first turned me on to that whole thing was, I got a tape recorder for my guess it was 13th birthday or something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And that was right when Copycats came out. And all the Impressionists, and I thought, oh, hey, I could do this.
That's right. Now that was
You
a
know.
TV show
Yeah.
that had every great
Rich Little,
impression. I mean,
Frank
and that
Gorshin.
was
Frank Gorshin was like the impersonator's impersonator.
Yeah,
He really was.
He became the character.
Yeah,
Just-
he did. Yeah, he was the first guy to do Nicholson and do the whole with the hair and
Right,
the glasses, and it was just great.
Fred Travelina.
Fred Travelina is who I was
right.
thinking
And
of.
Charlie Callis.
Callis.
Yes, of course.
Anybody can anybody do a very
I want the. I want the.
James, was it the kind of SNL era guys that
Yeah.
kind of really flipped
Yeah,
the
yeah,
switch?
yeah. I mean,
Dana
like-
Carvey's and things like
Dana
yeah,
Carvey, Joe Piscopo. Like he was the first guy to do Letterman.
How are we doing on time?
And oh my. And then you went into like Jay Moore was one of the first guys to do.
Christopher Walken.
Oh, yes,
He
he
did
was.
him, and he did the Christopher
And then-
Walken show.
And he left the show.
And he just stared at the camera and said, "Why aren't you calling? You should call."
Chris
Walken was the big one over the last few years, and then Morgan Freeman. Now
Morgan
everybody's
Freeman.
doing Morgan Freeman.
Right.
That's the one you want to do.
Gotta have your nose
Yeah.
next to the mouth.
So that's it. Yeah.
How many other games have you worked on,
Oh,
Jim?
man.
Have you? Can you even?
I'd have to-
You got? Jim and I never worked on Ratchet and Clank together. The only time we've ever been in the room together was for Ratchet and Clank the movie.
Right.
Same with David Kay.
Oh.
I met David 8 games in.
That's funny.
These kids have grown up with your characters. I mean,
That's
they.
the weirdest thing is when you have a 20-something come up and go, "Oh, you're my childhood."
Wow.
Well, thank you.
That's good to know.
Listen, let me do that Ratchet voice for you.
Here I get my other teeth.
Yeah.
One of my favorite animation eras was when I was doing Secret Files of the Spy Dogs. We were all playing dogs, and I was sitting between a bat and a monkey. I was literally between Mickey Dolenz and Adam West.
That's your autobiography. That's the title of it. Stuck between a bat and a monkey.
People know now that voiceover is a job. It exists. I guess the downside is there probably are fewer of them now because it's harder to get into that world now.
It's harder to get into it, and it's also affected it. Everybody wants to do it, and so you've got all these outlets that are kind of watering down the market.
But this is an art.
I think it's great to educate people on what we do because it really is an art form. It's beautiful to watch Jim Ward in the studio doing Captain Quark. It's a dance. It's this. He does these wonderful things that we all can do. Our Jim doing Quark, but it's not Jim.
I don't know that people recognize how physical
That's
you
exactly.
get
Oh,
in
yeah.
the studio.
You have to sort of take on the physicality of the character.
It's exciting that Ratchet and Clank is going to show in theaters. Are you going to go see it in a theater, Jim?
I hope so.
Yeah.
What do you mean you hope so? Are you going to pay? Are you going to pay the $15 to go
Don't
hear
pay.
yourself?
15
No,
bucks!
No, come on.
What am I made of money?
To go see yourself. That seems a little. Thankfully, there's no Pixar movie coming out the same way. It is a family film. It's very funny. It's got a lot of great action. It feels like the games. There's a wonderful moral message in it, too. There really is. It's got a bit of Star Wars A New Hope in it. Ratchet's kind of Luke Skywalker-y in that. I thought it was really charming and fun.
Ratchet and Clank, definitely check out the movie.
I'm going to go home and IMDb myself now.
Yeah. Our regards to David Kay.
Yes.
Sorry he couldn't clank along with us today. Thanks, you guys, and this
Thank
has been
you, Larry.
great. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Hey!
Guys, that was great.
Woo, look at that, you did it. This is history because we all worked in this building before.
Yes.
And now here we all are, and Larry's interviewing us about our big movie because Jim and I are big shot movie people now.
Movie people.
And I'm just a radio.
We've all been radio actors at one point.
There it is. Okay. Okay, that wasn't really the ending I was hoping for.
Oh, this is the ending? Well, it truly is an ending.
Oh!
Hey, hi.
All right, there you go.
This
Okay.
is the end.